And what I want to tell you is, at least share with you, there's a way to create abundance through sales without feeling dirty. And tell me, have any of you, not you, but have you ever noticed anybody else out there, industries, and it just feels dirty? Type in dirty in the chat bar. And that's what was making me come and say, you know what, let's do something on Sales Rewired here. This will also help you with your sales teams, because in your teams and your culture, to be upfront with you, what I learned going through 1,000 business owners is, first off, business owners just don't understand the psychology of selling because they don't even understand themselves. You know, they don't even understand themselves. And if you don't understand yourself, well, how the hell are you even going to understand others? And answer this for me. Do you think the way that people buy has changed? Tell me in the chat bar, type in changed. Do you think it's changed in the last 30 days? Hell yeah, it has. It's been changing like this for a half a decade. Now, pre-COVID, everybody was pretty brilliant, weren't they? I mean, you could pretty much suck at what you do and make a lot of money pre-COVID. During COVID, if you were really good, you still made abundance. I had the privilege and the honor of navigating close to 1,000 businesses through COVID. I don't know, was anybody in my world during COVID? Type in COVID. And where the industry was down, at least my industry was down by 20, 30%. The average person in my world was up by 200, 300, 400, 500%. Well, why? Because we understood humans. And if you want to write something down that I don't see a lot of people talk about, is that sales is a human process. It's a human process. That when you understand the psychology of the sales process, it applies equally. It applies equally across many different industries. Now, if you're looking for some robotic script of some kind, which I respect AI, and if you've been playing with AI, type in AI in the chat bar. I know so many people, they're just drooling before they go to bed. They're licking ChatGPT on their cell phone. But the other thing is, just to put an awakening you might want to write down, is the most valuable thing is people are still craving. They're craving human to human connection. But the one point I want to make about sales today is the deeper, the quicker the connection you can make with people, real connection. Someone said to me just yesterday, because we work with a lot of high-level people today and some smaller companies too to help them scale. They said, how do I do better if you were to give me one thing? And I said, well, just connect and connect in a stronger way with people. Stop looking at them as part of your payroll and start looking at them as people you care about and that you want to serve with whatever you serve with. So look, I want to share, and I got a bunch of strategies I'm going to go through, and I'd love for you as I share it. Hey, Rodney, nice to see you. As I share a strategy, Andrew, and it resonates with you, type in the chat bar so I know it's resonating. But after doing now, and this is combined, over 500 million in revenue myself, selling over 2 high 8-figure companies with world-class exits in the last 6 years, training over 20,000 people and 1,000 business owners, and serving 34,000 customers a year, I want to give you what at least I feel is the top things. Let's get into a strategy here. Number one strategy is this, and I want you to write it as an action item if it's with me or someone else. You got to remove the hidden sales trauma. It doesn't disappear. It lives within your nervous system. If your parents ever told you this, and you tell me in the chat bar, if your parents ever told you, William, money is evil, money is dirty, money doesn't grow on trees, go wash your hands after you counted your money. Tooth Fairy gave you money. Go wash. Birthday money. Go wash your hands. Money's dirty. Have any of you ever been told any of that? Tell me in the chat bar. If you have hidden sales trauma. How many of you have spent a lot of money on marketing? You did not get a return and you are scared shit about spending money on marketing. Tell me in the chat bar. Type in marketing, right? You got marketing trauma. How many of you have invested in things? You went to a big training, 1,000 people. You clapped your ass off. You went back Monday. Nothing fixed itself. You were motivated for 3 days and you had no more strategies, no more skills. You got to remove the hidden sales trauma, whatever, marketing trauma, sales trauma. You hired somebody and now you're afraid to hire. You spend some money. I got to give you number 2 here, okay? Number 2, you have to nail your sales cycle, everybody. You have to make it mandatory. If you don't know the sales cycle, now there's 2 sales cycles. There's your sales cycle, and then there's the client's. Sorry, I took my tablet. I can't draw for you tonight on there, but I'll draw on this pad because I was setting up my tablet for stuff tomorrow. But if you look at sales cycles, and let's see if you could see this. Okay, if you look at sales cycles, it's like that. It's 2 overlapping circles. It's your company sales cycle, and it's the client's sales cycle. It's the client's sales cycle. And you have to understand the psychology on how they interlink. And if you don't have that, I promise you, you're losing 25% a year. Easily, you're losing 25%. And that might be happening on however they reach out to you. It could be the first connection. It could be after you speak to them about your insurance service or your plumbing or whatever. It doesn't matter to me, dog training service. Or it happens after the transaction. You're losing. And some of you, I bet you might even be losing more. If you were to say, just on what you're hearing from me now, what percentage of money do you know you're leaving on the table? Type it in the chat bar. Is it 20%, 30%? First off, if you've never had a pro look at it, a real expert look at every part of it, I guarantee it's 25% plus. I guarantee it. Because you only know the skills you have. So if it's not me or us at Food Dog, well, shit, invest in someone who's a pro at it. If you come to Sales Power next week, spend 3 days with me in person, shit, even if you invested and made it to day 1, your life's going to change. But if you make it to all 3 days, your whole company and your abundance will change forever. Okay. So number 2, you have to understand the sales cycle. All right. Number 3, everybody is surprised because they say to me, it's not working. And I always ask the same question. There's 2 parts to sales not working. And if you just write these 2 things down, I guarantee it's worth a lot of money to you. One, I say, well, what is the A/B testing you're doing? You mean you answer the phones the same way and you never test another way to see if it makes it better or worse? As owners and leaders, you should be a master at A/B testing. That means if you call your marketing pay-per-click company or whatever, billboard company, magazine, you should say to them, what are you A/B testing? And then they go, what you mean? You should just go, the old Trump, you're fired. You should just fire him, right? So with sales, you got to be A/B testing. Here's the offer this week. This is the offer next week. Which one's working? Your marketing, if you're doing direct mail, you should be A/B testing. We do everything on a scientific approach. Now, remember, we also have a portfolio of companies. So not only do we do to help you, but we have our own target of companies we help scale to exit, because most people just, without the right support and knowledge, the chances of them exiting wealthy is pretty slim. So we help a lot of companies. The first thing we do is, what can we test? Number 2 in the selling part is surveying. And if you haven't mastered the art of surveying before during, and after, you're losing. Now we're probably up to 35%. 35%. Okay. So you have to A/B testing in sales, and you have to survey, because the customer will tell you exactly what to fix. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Let me give you a couple more here. So the next one is most companies are losing about 20 to 40% because they don't understand pricing psychology. Pricing psychology. Now, I tested all that shit, like 1,997 versus 2,000. And look, people have what's called wallet share. And I want you to write it down, wallet share. And if they open up their wallet, there's a certain amount of money in there. And inside the wallet share, they have an intentional amount for repairs or services or insurance or programs. And they want to make sure that when they take something out of their wallet share, it's either going to give them more comfort, right? Or it's also going to remove pain. And if it's going to give them more comfort, they'll invest in it. Just like I already know, how many of you are already registered for SOP Power online? Just write SOP. You already know the reason why you're going to give the day is because it's going to give you way more comfort. And those of you not registered yet, I'm going to tell you how to register. So stay here and you'll get the special as long as you do it in the next couple of days. And you only attending SOP Power because, one, it doesn't matter that you read the E-Myth. Who cares about all your shit you read? Oh, Mike, I do EOS system and I do E-Myth and I've done Blue Ocean strategy. And I go, yeah, but you're still under 5 million and you're telling me you're broke. I don't care about the books you read. That's the only people giving you badges for the shit you read is the people on Facebook. Is that fair? Can you just type in fair in the chat bar? I don't have an EOS badge for you. I don't have a Service Titan badge for you. You know what I got a badge of? A badge of giving you, you're making way more profit than ever. Your bank account's growing. Your portfolio's growing. And you're not driven by a million shiny objects distracting the shit out of you. That's the badge I want to give you. And the badge of you and your wife are closer, you and your kids are closer, your age is reversing, and you love your damn company until you no longer want to love it. And it either you hand it down to someone that will love it, like family, to create a legacy business, or you sell it because you want someone else to run it different. That's the badge I love to give to people. And the way that you get that is you have to understand there is a psychology of pricing and there is a wallet share. And if you don't understand that they're investing in comfort or removing a pain, and the only thing that stands in that wallet share is your process, right? Is your process. And do they believe in you and your process? I mean, I guarantee, watch this survey. Watch how real this becomes. How many of you have had customers buy what you sell and they paid you more than someone else that offered them the same thing? Tell me in the chat bar. I know you guys did. Of course, right? It happened to me all the time. And then my friends would call me up. You got that job over there? What the? They always say it like I was less. I mean, 165 trucks on the road, 32 million a year. Did you really think my price is lower? I'm like, it was 15,000. Why? What did you? He goes, I was 10,000. Why didn't they go with me? I said, because they didn't trust you. They didn't trust you. They didn't trust how you showed up. They didn't trust the professionalism. They didn't trust the cycle. Your sales cycle was to sell. My sales cycle was to change their life forever. And that's a big difference. Do you see the difference? Type in difference in the chat bar. My cycle was to improve their life forever. That was the most important task. A byproduct of changing lives is people give you money. That's why you're here. If you're here and you feel we have value and will change your life, you'll invest in the trainings we have. And if you're not in enough pain or you don't think we have value, you won't invest. But no matter what, I want you to leave tonight with value. That's the most important thing. Because if I give you value and you just think a little bit different or you take action on one thing, then we're changing the human race. And that's why I'm here tonight with you at 8 p.m. at night. Not because I have to, because I want to, because someone's got to care about you guys. There's lots of people that care only about your wallet. Is that true? Type in true if that's true. There's a lot of people that only care about your wallet. They tell you all these stories and these things, the 500-pound gorilla and PE firms. Look, PE firms, if you don't know, private equity firms are not bad. They're not. They made me very, very wealthy. They're bad because they do some things people don't understand. Okay? And you should write that down. People don't understand it. All right, I'm going to give you two more here. All right? The silent killers in your sales team, right? It's the invisible behaviors that are killing your closing rate. What are the invisible behaviors? Well, I want you to think, and let's be an honest rating here. Just step aside outside your company and look from the sky down. And I want you to look at your team, your whole team. And I want you to rate your team at a level 10 master communicators. When they talk, people feel impacted. They feel changed. They feel shifted. They get such a sense of trust. They just go, here's the credit card. Call me when you're done. And one being, well, they talk the way they always talk the last 40 years of their life or 30 years. Let's do 10, master communicator, 1, and be honest. Where are you? Yeah, and guess what? A 7 is a C. And if you came home with a C, some of you, and I'm not a big believer on that type of grading system in school, but a C probably got you yelled at by your dad or mom. They said, what the hell's wrong with you? You got a C? You're like, well, at least I didn't get a D. That normally got your ass, depending on what generation, you either got smacked in the face or shoved in your room, right? If you're below that, if you're a 4, well, guess what? You're losing so much, not only forget about the money, you're losing part of your life, which is financial peace. Now, remember, I don't want you to rate you because, well, first, I don't have enough time to call all your companies, even though I do enjoy it sometimes, because every time someone tells me they're amazing, I call and get their call center at night and I go, what the hell just happened here? And then they tell me, oh, well, that's a rare occasion. Lisa's not in this week. And I go, okay, I'm sure Lisa's incredible. And then I call Lisa and say, Lisa, you know what? Let me think about it. And Lisa goes, oh, well, call us when you're ready. And I go, well, now isn't that a shit ass process if I ever seen one? Like, how certain are you that you could save their life? Because if you were certain you're going to change their life forever, you wouldn't just say goodbye. And this happens all the time, multiple times a year. People tell me, no, they challenge me. Mike, call my company. So if any of you just really are compelled, I'm not going to do it here. Send me a private Facebook message and go, challenge accepted, Mike. Call my company. But just know, I'm not going to call at the perfect time when everybody ate their Danish and bagel and drank their Starbucks Mocha Loca. I'm going to call at the time where I know you're bleeding. And I hope that I am right. And if you are amazing, I'm sending you a gold star. I will. I'll find a little gold star sticker. But if it's not amazing, I'm going to let you know that too, because I care that much about you that I just don't want you, because your life, right? You want your life to move forward. How many of you want to forget about vacationing? You want to live a vacation style life. Just get up, go where you want, whenever you want. Type it in the chat bar. Type in vacation style life, right? Yeah, you probably do. You just want to experience as much as you can. Well, if you figure out the sales problem, you'll start experiencing things. All right, last one I want to give you here. And it's this one. A lot of people's managers, right? A lot of people's managers are not skilled and not leading. They're not leading. They're not training, coaching, or managing. They're information delivering. You didn't sell. You got, Did you ever tell me if this is helpful? You must do better. Tell me in the chat bar. Is that helpful? Did you ever tell somebody you got to raise your conversion? Well, if the dude knew how to do better, they would be doing better. You telling them to do better doesn't make them better, but managers don't have the skill set. Why? Because you haven't trained your managers on human behavior. You've only trained them on some kind of widget or script that you learned from, I'm guessing, my own story, it's probably false. You learned it from some other company, right? And what made me break all boundaries was, you know what? I learned it from Jay Abraham. Do you know who Jay is? Type in Jay. If you don't, he's the highest paid consultant on planet Earth, okay? And I trained 3.5 years with him one-on-one, which most of you, if you heard how much that cost, there ain't probably a time in most of your lives you'd be brave enough to do that, because you pull out your credit card and it just, the shit just melts, okay? That's what happens when you pay for education. Your credit card melts. But he told me the secret of all secret sauces, and I'm going to give it to you tonight, and I hope it becomes your secret sauce, not only in selling, in scaling and winning this life, business, and wealth by design. He said to me, Mike, the superpower is not taking things you're getting from other industries. He goes, everybody's doing the same thing. He goes, so you might win a little bit, but the chances if you're doing the same thing as the next bigger company, you'll probably never outbeat them. He said the winning strategy is do from other industries in your industry. You should type in boom right now, because this changed my life forever. He said, take the strategies from Disney and Zappos and Amazon. He said, go to the biggest companies in the world and ask yourself, what's the strategy they do that no one else is doing? So when people looked, you couldn't look. I was in an organization 1.5 decades ago, and I outgrew every one of the founding fathers of the organization. So when you look at this this strategy of this leader, your leaders, right? They need to understand training, coaching, and managing. And you need to understand, take things from other industries in. And that's why I'm not a best practice organization no more. I sold that. Now I'm a life, business, and wealth by design is what Food Dog Groups were. I call us the secret ingredient or the secret weapon out there, because we have strategies. We take a strategy from a cybersecurity company or an AI company, or we take it from a nutrition company and we say, what's the strategy here that we could put in, not just in your companies. Remember, we got a portfolio company, and our goal is to grow our portfolio company by 2030. I'd like to hit 500 million in that portfolio. So we're not teaching you shit, everybody, and I'm going to finish this up. I'm not teaching you stuff we did 50 years ago. You're learning right now what we're doing in our companies, in our portfolio companies, and we just did it last week. That's what we're teaching you.